some of them are very complex skills, and in order for you to learn complex skills of any kind, you have to dedicate the time.
Entry can be kind of daunting to people because they're already looking at the bigger picture as opposed to looking at all these easier things that I could do to just kind of get into it.
You can learn from every discipline. Like you can learn from gymnastics training, and you can learn from like what elite sprinters do, and you take each and every one of those things and you put it into a program, as long as, like I always say, the goal matches, matches the goal.
If you're a woman, don't leave.
Yeah.
I got some dry ass lips. Can you change that for me?
I'd rather not be banned from YouTube.
For kissing?
For incest.
Oh, you get banned for that?
I would imagine.
Even if it's just a kiss?
Is that incest?
Comment below. Is kissing your sibling
cousins?
Incest? We're not cousins though. One brother doing his due diligence and reading the script. The other one,
it's unbelievable.
looking up the inbreeding.
Your ability to make jokes and or not focus on the task at hand is amazing.
Thank you.
Not a compliment. I'm not a normal person, I've realized from these podcasts. Today we're going to talk about calisthenics. Do you know what it is? I didn't think so. Unless you're a 21-year-old man.
Calisthenics, I feel like people automatically assume that you're doing muscle ups and crazy shit on a bar.
So when I was thinking about this episode, I realized that to any man between the teenage years and I would say 45 is what you just said.
Yeah.
When you think calisthenics, you think of somebody doing muscle ups or like bar tricks, 360 pull-ups on a bar. But I guarantee you, a lot of people, A, they don't really know what it is, or B, have heard of it, but also don't know what it is.
If you're Hispanic too, I forgot exactly how to say calisthenics in Spanish, but they attribute it to like what it actually is, like body work.
Body weight training.
Body weight training, exactly.
Which, spoiler alert, is what it is.
Is what it is.
But
I'm screaming.
The reason I want to talk about it is because
if you're a woman, don't leave.
Yeah. I had a fear that women would not be interested in this episode at all, but you might be, because
we're gonna fill it with pictures of handsome men.
Yes, all over the place. I wanted to discuss why it's so important to have control over your own body. When people think about training, it's always some sort of external thing: resistance bands, kettlebells, some sort of equipment, or sitting down in a gym and doing presses and leg curls and things like that. But rarely do they think, at least in America, do they think, let me see if I can have control over my own body and do things that are that you don't really require a lot of equipment.
For me, those are the most fun and the most rewarding things to do personally. Obviously it feels good to set a new like overhead press record for yourself, but the ability to get into a handstand, do a funky push-up, do something cool on the bar, for me that, I don't know, it just feels like better. I don't know why, I can't really explain it, but having that mastery over your own body just feels better and like more, I don't know, cool to me.
If I had to, I agree with you, and it's because, like we always say on this podcast, we're pretty advanced when it comes to movement and training and meddling with all these different types of methods. But I think what it is, for a beginner, it's a little too complex, funny enough, even though it's a body weight. For example, if you ever made somebody do a bear crawl, like a low bear crawl, and really made them focus, A, they're going to be uncoordinated. B, they're going to be like, oh my God, like, I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling my shoulders, my core, my legs, my hip flexors, like all kinds of things where it's like almost too much. Whereas if I put you on a leg press machine, put your feet here, press.
Yeah. And there's a lot of degrees of difficulty, because we just said for a beginner, they'll find it too difficult. But there's any number of things you could do. You could do an elevated push-up if you're a beginner. And then if there's such a wide range. And if you're advanced, then you start looking at the clap push-up, like behind the back, all these crazy things. So there's such a wide range. I feel like has easy entry, but then like it requires a lot of time to master. So
for sure, it's accessible.
It's accessible, but it can also be daunting when people overthink and they're like, calisthenics, but I can't even hang from a bar. What am I gonna do calisthenics wise? It's like there's a ton of things that you're gonna see that
we're gonna get into how easy and basic it can be, how accessible it can be, progressions and all that stuff, and also like why even do it, right? Like what are the benefits?
Yeah, and I know we hate this word, but how functional it could be to be good at these movements.
1000%.
That I think is the most overlooked part of it.
Yep, agreed.
With that being said, let's get right into it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the BFit Brothers podcast, where fitness meets common sense. That's fitness and I'm common sense, right? That kind of makes sense.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, pleasure. God, your hands are cold. I'm Victor. That's my brother
Every time.
Julian. And we're here to bring you some of the hard-hitting facts that you all come to crave.
We are personal trainers
My tummy hurts.
and gym owners.
Oh man, yesterday the unhealthiest thing I ate was the Uncrustable.
Day one, baby,
I
in
don't
the
know
books.
how you health nuts do it, man. I had so many grapes. So many fruits.
It's expensive.
I had like, you
Ate
gotta
a lot
understand,
of
at the end I'm
fruits.
like, and I'm still hungry and craving, like, whatever.
Well, it's also because
you're
you're very used to grazing throughout the day, which I think us health nuts, many of us aren't.
I said Gio.
Thanks, man.
You're balding way less than I am.
It's like stalled, which
Yeah.
I'm trying not to even
Don't think
put
about it.
attention to
Yo
it.
tengo un hueco aquí.
Do you know what calisthenics means?
Oh yeah, calisthenics actually comes from the Greek words cali and coffee, which I'm sure a lot of our younger women listeners.
They already
I'm just saying,
left the podcast
no,
by
I'm saying
now.
Cali coffee just to get them back in.
Okay,
Cali
good idea.
Coffee, stickers, glitter, other thing young women like, ponies.
Overrated.
What? Ponies?
Cali coffee.
Oh, it sucks.
Wow.
And we lost the women again.
Damn. Kalos, meaning beauty.
Beauty, of course, everybody knows that.
And sthenos, meaning strength.
Yeah, so
beautiful strength.
That's what they called you in high
That's
school.
it, right? Jeez. How much better can it get? This is the best form of training, clearly. Beautiful strength.
I mean,
Um,
who doesn't want that?
but yeah, it was popularized in ancient Greece, which we all know were the biggest badasses of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they built statues of these guys, so there must be something to it.
Didn't they say they should build a statue of you at some point at our
Yeah.
local gym?
Yep.
What do you guys think? Comment below if they should build a statue. I'm getting the Dwayne Wade, the guy that made Dwayne Wade statue, do it.
Dude, did you know that Michelangelo's David was an insane feat of like the size of the block of it?
Have
and
you seen it? I'm still in awe every time I see it. The musculature, the muscle fibers, it's
on another level.
insane how big the penis is.
We don't
It's
have-
crazy.
We don't have,
Art
or
like
maybe
that
we
anymore?
do, but yeah, like we don't have people that are just dedicate 10 years of their life to making one
Dude,
sculpture,
I
you know? Like we just
tripped
don't
out.
have that anymore.
I tripped out. I saw like those statues like in person. It's
The attention to detail.
insane. The attention to detail, the fingers, the musculature.
I mean, Da Vinci studied cadavers.
that and the Sistine Chapel, like mind blowing.
What about the
I've never seen it.
15th?
All right, guys, I'm done. Get me out of here.
Okay, but seriously, like the ancient Greeks used it as a form of like coordination and control and balance and strength. They were developing these very simple, basic movements. And of course, they weren't training with any equipment.
No.
So it's been developed for centuries now.
No.
And of course, we're not going to get into a history lesson here, but the calisthenics then are not the calisthenics now. Of course, the word and the methods have evolved a lot. But it is interesting to see that this has been something that's been used for many, many years.
The
Like there's a
longevity
lot
of
of
it.
proof
Yeah.
there.
Between that, the history of that, and then the history of like even America or the military, when they started getting all these boot camps and things, it was 99%. I'm gonna go out and say 100% calisthenics. When you're not doing the cardio, it was all the boot camps, push-ups, climbing a
Running.
wall, running, climbing a rope,
Yep.
pull-ups. All these things are calisthenic based. So how they used to train the military for arguably our most important moments in history, come on, I mean, you can't debate that.
And again,
And they were
it's-
badasses. You
it's-
watch videos from like the 1950s and 60s, the calisthenics classes they had in PE. They were badasses. Nowadays, these fucking kids.
Oh boy, here
Nowadays,
we go.
these kids are wimps, man. They can't even get over a wall. Somebody
it's
asked me the other day, "Can you climb a fence?" And I went, "Can I climb
Can
a
I?
fence? I'll climb a fence faster than Jackie Chan."
easily.
I know
It's-
Jackie Chan is poorly received. Anyway, keep going.
Why?
Asshole to his daughter.
I don't like that.
I know.
It's like you said, it's functional. The reason the military trains like that is because when you're out there having to run and grab your gun and carry things, you have to have somewhat control of your own body. It's
Yeah.
not so much about
A machine or raw
sitting
strength.
in a machine and growing your pecs or growing your chest. Like that's not the goal of training. Like we always say in this podcast, your goal dictates your training. So if your goal is to be, let's say, a bodybuilder, then yes, sit in a machine and do isolated movements.
Or
but
if it goes just purely aesthetics, then yeah, that works.
it works. Although I would argue that, I mean, look at these calisthenics guys. We're going to get into it, but a lot of them have insane physique.
Yeah,
So you
upper
can
body.
get the aesthetics. Well, yeah, it's a whole other thing. But my argument being that there's a reason they train that way is because it does prepare. It's like you said, it's functional, to use a beat
Yeah,
up
carry
term.
your gun, carry your wounded other soldier.
Run with weight on you.
For sure.
Exactly. Carry somebody when they're wounded. So it does have it's clearly has carryover into everyday tasks. Now, I want to talk about like the resurgence of what we now know as calisthenics, which is
it started in like the early 2010s, like all these
all thanks to YouTube, I would say.
These crazy movements, you would see the muscle up, and it's evolved so much. If you watch it now from when we started doing it, God, it's evolved into crazy lengths. I would argue it peaked in like the early 2010s when all of this like started buzzing again.
Like 2013 to 2015 was probably peak.
You had the Bar Stars guys. You had all these guys in California. All these people like starting a movement basically again. We were part of the movement. We were in it.
Somewhat,
in the Instagram days. No, I would say we were repping Miami pretty hard in that movement.
Yeah, not as much as like
you
the
owned Instagram
muscle,
Fitness.
Not as much as like the Muscle Beach guys, but yeah.
I mean, but that's all like for me. That's all now. It's performative.
I see.
It's like I'm here on South Beach because all the people are here looking at me, and it's like you don't have to do it that way. Like you could just do it in the Rompetubo Park and get the same effects.
Yeah, so for those who have no idea what we're talking about, when it was like the rise of social media happened at the same time that calisthenics started taking off, and you know, one thing leads to the other. You see somebody, you gotta understand that before this time, everybody, when you thought about training, you're for sure thinking about machines, dumbbells, barbells. That's what training is. All of a sudden, you're on YouTube and you see a guy doing weighted pull-ups at a park somewhere in the snow in Russia, or doing weighted dips, doing muscle-ups, which nobody knew what muscle-ups was. When Instagram started, that's when you say like we were kind of on the forefront of that. When I was doing muscle-ups in 2012, people would be like, whoa, what the heck is that? And for those who don't know what we're talking about, I mean, I hope you know by now, but it's like you do a pull-up and you get yourself all the way up to the top of the bar and you finish with a dip. So it's a pretty advanced upper body exercise. And it was just this interesting, like, new thing, and it just started taking off.
It's also very visually cool and appealing to see.
And primarily, I'm against amongst guys. Let's be honest. Like there was a handful of women doing calisthenics back in the day,
caring about it.
And the reason why is because number one is it's a classic male thing. It's risky. It looks quote unquote cool. You have to take your shirt off while doing it, and you're going to the beach and show off. And let's be honest. Takes a lot of upper body strength.
I would argue the only women doing it had some sort of gymnastics or like cheerleading, like one of those backgrounds that I'm already kind of ingrained into. So I'm not just
1,000%
jump into calisthenics.
1,000%.
Also harder for women because it's a lot of grip strength, and women traditionally struggle with grip strength more than men.
Anything that's upper body based, men have a huge advantage, and it's as simple as that. Like what can take a guy 6 months to master will take a woman 2-3 years, and they might not even get to that level that the guy got into. I'm just being completely honest. Now,
so should men and women train differently? Oh wait, no, wrong podcast. Sorry.
Go back if you want to know that.
That one.
Whoever's editing this, put it up here.
Go here.
Whoa. Oh. Put the link right here, please.
It's me, isn't it?
No, Joey's the one that has to put the links.
Oh, damn, I didn't mean to call you.
Said you moron.
That's what Julian's gonna do tomorrow.
Okay, so let's talk about our calisthenics training.
Let's do it.
It was kill.
That was really cool.
It
was really cool.
So I would say I was probably in my mid-20s and you were in the early 20s.
Yeah.
Is when we opened Be Fit. And at the same time we opened Be Fit, we were doing half training in the gym and half training in the park. We go 3 times a week and just all we had access to was a pull-up bar and dip bars, which is funny enough is all you need.
And a dream.
So we were doing 3 times a week. I remember the program perfectly. We were doing 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that, and then a few accessory things that, you know, let's be honest, calisthenics doesn't cover all your bases. Like
definitely doesn't cover the leg base.
Exactly. So
you can't tell.
We weren't only doing that. And I want to talk about the criticisms of it,
Don't
like
look
the
at me
modern
like that.
area. No, I'm saying, you're the one that said it. There are criticisms of like the training style, but not yet. I want to talk about our training first. So let's just say we were insanely strong at that point.
Yeah.
Like we were doing weighted pull-ups with like 90 pounds. We were doing weighted dips. I was doing handstand clap push-ups.
Let's see it.
Here we go. I mean, like that's a pretty advanced level of fitness. And the thing I love about calisthenics is...
What were you most proud of those movements? Was it the clapping?
I mean, the clap handstand push-up was like this feat that I really didn't think I was going to get because it's so like, wow, like that's just like on another level.
And then what's a movement that you always wanted to but didn't get?
Wanted to but didn't get? Oh, the planche, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's once again, a whole nother
A
level.
little too advanced for us. I think I was proudest of my very slow muscle up, but that's
strict muscle up. Yeah. So what I love about it is that it takes such a higher level of body awareness and control to do something like a muscle up or something like just a handstand. If you ever try to do a freestanding handstand, obviously that takes a lot of control, and you're you're on your hands, which is already like a very foreign thing. But the amount of, when you get really deep into it, the amount of stabilizing going on everywhere,
starting
core
from the fingertips,
engagement,
the core, the glutes, things that you would never even like think.
everything,
like,
the breathing while you're doing it. So to me, coming from a strength and conditioning background, because for context, I had already been lifting weights for a while, many years before that. It's like, okay, you get bored of sitting there and doing a bicep curl. Okay, I'm working my bicep. I feel my bicep. Great. But I never felt as many muscle groups or that same type of like, that I have to concentrate and feel all these little stabilizers as when I started doing like ring stuff and stuff on a bar.
No,
so
it's funny because you're doing like, let's say we did a program of ring dips, ring pull-ups, muscle ups, handstands. Nothing that one would say, oh, we didn't do any core training, and the next day your core is lit up, your core is sore, like you're sore in these weird areas.
Everything is core.
Your forearms, all these things, you're like, what do I do to get all this like random weird soreness? Mind you, like you just said, already strength training, so like I'm not a novice. Like what are all these little weird pains? And it's like you just said, your whole body requires a mastery of the whole body and this technique, and it's, I don't know, for me it's fascinating.
You get a lot of bang for your buck is what it is. Like for example, let's compare something like a front lever. And I'm sorry if you guys don't know what we're talking about. Maybe I don't ever want to put a picture. Yeah. But like, instead of going to the gym and training your lats, your core, your abs, and your grip, you're doing all that in one movement. Yeah. One seemingly simple movement. Now, the criticism here is everything that you just like mentioned and that I'm mentioning is super hard advanced. As hell. Yeah. Everything's very advanced. Yeah. And we were able to get to that advanced level because we already had a background and we were like relatively strong. Yep. There are easy ways to get into calisthenics that I promise we're gonna get into. But my whole point being that I started looking at that and like, wow, the return on my investment of what I'm doing here is huge. I would have to go in the gym for hours and do all these kind of different things just to get what I'm getting here. Yeah. Now, again, the sacrifice is, there's always trade-offs, guys. Like the sacrifice is, by doing that, then yes, maybe I'm not getting every muscle group as balanced of a training as I can get. You can definitely argue the legs is a one major muscle group that don't really get trained too much in calisthenics. But
yeah, even if you're going upper body wise, of course, if you have a structured program that you're balancing the chest, the back, I think inarguably you're doing a lot more back anytime you're doing calisthenics, unless you're doing a lot
which is good. It's what a lot of people need.
It's good. Yeah, it's like a 2-to-1 that you're supposed to train your back compared to chest. But if you want to like get down to the micro details, are you not doing rear delts as much, or specifically
funny you say that's the muscle I was thinking, and you are doing a lot of rear delt, but I would argue you're right about the chest.
Yeah, like specifically, you're not getting the exact balance maybe. Yeah. But really,
there's also not a lot of variety. For example, with the chest, you can do push-ups, you can do dips.
That's it.
And you could do maybe the straight bar dips, like the top of a muscle up. It's still a dip, but a bodybuilder would be like, well, I'm doing pec flies and dumbbell chest press and incline press and bench press and close grip press. Like you're missing out on a lot of things, and you're right.
Granted. Yeah, we're not arguing that.
However, if you go out and look at like the elite calisthenics guys, you look at the physique and you're like, well, I don't want anything more than that. Yeah, you guys are elite. The V
with the crazy bicep.
They still got big chests. Yeah. They got huge arms. Yeah. Crazy grip.
Good forearms.
So it's like, again, the return on investment was a lot, and I would argue that we were doing it in an even better way. We're
having fun with it.
Also doing weight training. It's not like we were only doing.
I think about our calisthenics because it was a lot of fun too. That's another thing people don't mention. It's not just sitting in the gym, going through the motions. You're outside, usually in good weather. We're lucky enough. Yeah. If you have good friends that want to do it with you, we do it. You inspire each other. You motivate each other. And like I was saying earlier, it feels so good to be able to like, damn, your friend got his first muscle up. That's inspiring, not just for me. It's like, damn, this is great for all of us as a collective.
It was such a big goal for like young men back in those days. So like, I got my first muscle
Maynard
up.
was busting his ass together. I remember he would leave with a red chest.
Yep.
We started calling him Red Auerbach.
Yep.
Red chest from bumping his chest against the bar.
Yep.
Historically, actually, we broke I don't know if I should put
Did
this
we
out there.
break it?
We broke the pull-up
Did
bar.
we actually
They
break
called
it?
us rompetudo.
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't break it. But one day one of them was broken and they blamed us.
That's the lore.
They called us a rompetudo.
So I want to double click on something you just said.
Hey, double click.
Because I think this is an important part of training that people don't really understand too much, which is skill development and skill achievement. Like you're doing something for the goal of I'm unlocking this skill. Like I'm unlocking a handstand. I'm unlocking a muscle up. I'm unlocking these things where it's not so much about, oh, my biceps grew an inch or I can see my abs.
I hate that. It's such an appreciated part of fitness. We never have a consultation come in and be like, I just want to be able to do a nice a handstand. I want to be able to do a perfect push-up. It's always an aesthetic goal. I want to lose weight. I want to even if you see something as good as I want to feel better.
And let me tell you, as trainers, that gets boring quickly.
Yeah.
Everybody comes in and wants to lose belly fat. Everybody wants to fit better in dresses. And you know what? I get it. I know I'm not an idiot. I know that the reason that most people work out is to look better. Obviously.
I don't blame them. Obviously, you look at yourself in the mirror every day. You want to be comfortable with how you look. You want to feel confident. How often are you going to pop out into a handstand? I get it. I get fundamentally, it doesn't really make sense to want these little weird movements that you might be wanting, but they're so rewarding to me. And seeing somebody do it is rewarding. Never have I heard somebody do something for the first time and not be completely wowed. Oh my God, I just did that. It's always a mind-blowing experience.
Which is super motivating, but here's my even bigger argument is, number one, it naturally breaks things up into progressions, which is how you should be training, right? It's I want to do a handstand. Okay, well, where am I? Yeah. Well, I can barely even hold myself up on my hands.
Sorry, he has a schizophrenia.
It's the caffeine. Okay.
Hold myself.
So if I can barely hold myself up, even against a wall, then maybe you're starting at a way lower progression of a push-up position, right? Yeah. But there's so many levels to get yourself there. That gives you something to aim for. It's not just going to the gym and, oh, I'm doing bicep curls, and I keep picking on bicep curls with 10s, and then I'm going to do 12s, and all you're doing there is higher numbers. That's all you're doing. So that's the one thing, the progressions. Number two, I think very importantly, is you're going to look better. If you can do muscle-ups, I guarantee you're going to look like the way that you want to look. You're going to be ripped. You're going to have muscle.
Yeah.
So my argument is you can have your cake and eat it too if you're doing this skill-based type of training.
For sure.
The other thing about that is that sometimes in more traditional forms of training, it's a little bit deceiving because, like I just said, you're chasing numbers, right? I can bench 200, I can bench 250. What happens is people sacrifice all kinds of things to hit that number because it's all about the number. Yeah. It's not about the other things, technique and all that. So you'll see people claiming that they did squats with 315, but then you look at their squat and it's like a half rep, right? Because they're chasing numbers. Now, you can't cheat a movement. If I look at you doing a handstand, you either can hold a handstand or you can't.
CrossFit?
Well, they're making shit up.
Kipping muscle up?
They're making things up. I'm serious.
Pull-ups.
Think about it like this. What I'm asking you to do,
a kipping pull-up is not a pull-up.
I'm asking you to hang on rings, dead hang, and without using momentum, get yourself into a muscle up and get to the top of those rings and then come right back down without using momentum. You can either do that or you can't. So what I'm trying to say is there's no vanity measures like, oh, I hit 200, I hit 250. No, it's you can either do the skill or you can't. That's why I said skill unlocked. It's kind of like a video game thing. And I think that's very humbling. It teaches you patience. It teaches you that, oh, I can't just be worried about these numbers. I got to be worried about, like I said, body awareness.
It builds discipline is basically what it builds discipline.
And humility.
Yeah, because you can't, like you said, you can't jip it. And if you tell me, oh yeah, no, I've been practicing my pull-up. Okay, present it. Let's see it. If you really have been working on it, we should be able to see some sort of progress. It's not like you said, the again, bicep curl. If I give you a little swing, oh no, look, I curled the 50s, man. What are you talking about? There's no jipping it. That discipline is required to get better at these movements.
Exactly. Because some of them are very complex skills. And in order for you to learn complex skills of any kind, you have to dedicate the time, put in the reps.
It's a lot more like neurological adaptations, I would say, than just doing a lift. You know what I mean?
And by the way, we are huge fans of traditional lifting too. We're making a case for calisthenics, but it's not like we quit lifting and we're like, the calisthenics is better. This video is not why calisthenics is better than traditional lifting.
Both fixing the shorts.
I think that you can learn and that's what I think makes a good trainer is that you can learn from every discipline. Like you can learn from gymnastics training, and you can learn from like what elite sprinters do, and you take each and every one of those things and you put it into a program, as long as, like I always say, the goal,
Matches
matches the goal.
Yeah, we're not against like mobility training, all these stuff. If you come to one of our classes, or if you're one of our clients, if you're lucky enough to be one of our clients, I was gonna say, you'll notice that we sprinkle a little bit of everything. You're doing your pull-ups, which is calisthenics. You're doing your strength training. You're doing mobility. You're doing all these different facets of training. So like you said, we're not saying this is the be-all, end-all.
You know, another big benefit for me personally about calisthenics is that I love simplicity. To me, there's something beautiful about simplicity in the sense that I can go to a park with a set of rings and I could do literally 30 different exercises. And that's such a cool thing that I could just put 2 rings and the straps in my backpack, go to a park, pick a nice scenery. I used to do this actually. I used to go to the park by the water on Morningside, and I would just hang some rings there. And you're getting the benefits of being outside. You're getting the benefits of the sun and a nice like environment. And I have this one tool that I could do everything with. Like, how cool is that? You know, most people need to go to a gym and use 20 different machines.
Yeah.
Here I have one tool. It could be one kettlebell or one bar or your parallel bars. I just think there's something really cool about that.
Yeah, and it's super accessible too, is another huge one. Like you don't need to be, all these people make excuses that I can't pay the gym membership or it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. You can go out and do it. It's just, it is hard. I think the entry level, and we're gonna discuss this coming up, entry can be kind of daunting to people because they're already looking at the bigger picture as opposed to looking at all these easier things that I could do to just kind of get into it.
Yeah, and I would argue that we've, for the past 15 minutes, we've been talking about the modern, very advanced, bar tricks kind of calisthenics. Yeah. But remember that we got to take a step back, and calisthenics just means like body weight training.
Yeah.
So if you're like a middle-aged woman who wants to start calisthenics, it's like lunges are hard.
Yeah.
Like, and they're enough for you. Body weight lunges, body weight squats. Exactly. Single leg stuff, balance.
Elevated push-ups.
All you need is one kettlebell.
Yeah.
And that's technically still in the calisthenics realm. So I would say like, yeah, we're already talking about like more advanced things that like, fit guys are going to like really gravitate to. But I can see a lot of people being like, you guys are speaking a whole nother language. Like I can barely even do a lunge. What are you talking about? I'm going to do a muscle up or anything like that.
It just reminded me of when we first started the gym and Instagram was popping and we do all these crazy stunts. It's like, muscle up to jumping off and then a backflip here and this crazy thing over here. And it's like,
I don't want to go to your gym.
I can't go to your gym. Or like, what do you mean you can't? I can't do half the things you guys are doing. It's like, wait, hold on. We don't do any of this with our clients. This is just ourselves. And let's be honest, Instagram is performative. We're there to show off. Everybody's there to show off what cool things they could do. We're not posting ourselves doing like a bodyweight squat. Oh God, the flower guy's back. We're not posting ourselves doing these boring, quote unquote, movements because nobody wants to see 2 young guys in their 20s doing a bodyweight squat. I'm sorry. You're not going to get clicks.
1,000%. But that was a huge insight for us where you just said that it literally never clicked to me until that, I think for both of us, until that one moment where people were like, yeah, because we didn't have a BFit Instagram account. It was my personal account, your personal account. We were doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then, but we're also trying to market for the gym. Yeah. And people will be like, well, I can't go there because you guys are doing backflip burpees. Yeah. Like, I can't do that. And we're like, oh, well, my middle-aged female client is doing bodyweight squats, but we're not posting that.
We're doing like barbell reverse lunges. It's not an easy movement. I'm just saying like the variety of things that we were doing with people is not that complex.
Exactly. So it was an interesting learning moment. So that's a good point. An example of that is the other day I saw this guy. He's a CrossFit guy. I don't know if he's an owner or he works for a CrossFit here in Miami. And he did this really good video of ring muscle ups. He is known for ring muscle ups. He has insane control. He's talking with a microphone like this, and he's just talking to the camera. He goes up like nothing. Because the thing here, this transition here, and he gets up to the top, zero, like wiggling, zero, super stable, and he's talking to the camera. The camera's going up and down with him, and he's just down because we want to be here. And I'm like, wow, what a level of control.
Crazy.
However, if I go to that guy's CrossFit, I guarantee you nobody else in the gym can 100%. Do muscle ups like that.
100%.
So it's like that same, it's like there's levels to this.
I mean, you can tell there's levels because to us, yo era como mierda. The things that I could do was like, yeah, whatever. I could do some muscle ups. I could do this. I could do pull-ups. I'm peanuts compared to that guy, compared to Osvaldo, the guy doing freaking perfect planche. The Russians guys jumping off and landing on their fingertips. I'm like, what I do is shit. But then you show it to somebody else, I'm like, holy crap, you can do
exactly
so-and-so movement. And you're like, I guess, but to me, I'm just un come mierda. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
there's
doing
always
anything
there's
crazy.
always a higher level to
always a
get
bigger
to.
fish.
Yeah.
And that fish is doing planches.
So if somebody wanted to get into calisthenics,
Don't do it. I'm just kidding.
obviously, things need to be individualized. I feel like always, but let's give some sort of general guidelines of how we would go about it as a coach. If somebody says, "Hey, I want to start training calisthenics,"
Okay, let's play a game. I'm gonna tell you a movement that I want to do, and you're gonna tell me, and you're gonna humble me, and you're gonna tell me,
Oh,
you're
God.
not doing that.
well, that's not what
We're
I
starting
meant.
with-
I wanted to be a lot more optimistic about it.
No, this is
but-
optimistic. I'm a weird person, but
Okay, go ahead.
I'm
Let's
thinking
play
like,
the
let's say
game.
I want to do an explosive push-up.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
Explosive push-up. You start with an arm elevated push-up where the surface of your hands is elevated, so you're pushing less percentage of your body weight.
Okay, I want to do a pull-up, just a pull-up.
Okay, you would start with an inverted row. If you can do an inverted row, that's still kind of advanced. If you can't, in the calisthenics world, I feel like most people could do a leg bent inverted row, which you would need a lower bar to do. That would probably be, I'm trying to think if there's an easier variation than that for your back.
I think also it's good to start just with a hang. Like, can you hang? How long can you hang? We got to work on that.
Yeah, but I feel like with hanging, you're working on certain things, but you're not working at all on
No,
the
you're not working
muscles
the lats
of the
or
pull-up.
No, for sure. But
So-
if you can't hang and you don't have the grip strength to hang, you can't hold yourself up. I feel like that's a
Yeah, I
recipe
mean,
for disaster.
yeah, if you can't hang, you're far off from doing a pull-up. So
Okay.
start training that back.
All right, I want to do a pistol squat.
But see, we just ran into an issue here
A
where
roadblock.
you could be too weak to even do the most basic pulling motion in calisthenics, which is
Agreed.
an inverted row.
Agreed.
Is there anything easier than that?
You know what I think?
I mean, if you have a
could do?
dumbbell, but
What I think you could do is you either, if you have your rings set up, get your rings or SBTs, the suspended bands,
oh,
TRX,
duh, yeah.
and then do some SBT TRX
Okay, so
rows.
yes, of course, we're using rings, so just do ring rows.
Yeah,
You can
some
get up
rows.
as high as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
ignore
higher
my
rings are
answer.
gonna
That's
be-
the
yeah,
answer.
that's my answer. Ignore everything else. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Pistol squats.
I was thinking like you go to a gym.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean, you
just
go
a bar.
outside and there's maybe like a lower bar and a pull-up bar,
Now,
and that's all you can do.
I wouldn't recommend somebody that's a complete beginner to just go out with just a bar. Like, I feel
No.
like that might be too much.
Nope. There's nothing you could do there.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do with
Get
a
yourself
bar
some TRX, like the suspended band training. Get some of those.
or rings.
Or rings, and then
You
set
can do
that
a
up,
lot with rings.
Yeah.
You can even do lower body stuff because you could do like assisted pistol squats.
which
You
is
can
my
do-
next movement, pistol squat.
Okay, so pistol squats is a great one because that's the one that's like the bread and butter of calisthenics leg training.
Yeah, it's,
And as a matter of fact, this is a great timing on this podcast. I'm actually working on my pistol squats again after a
saw
bunch
you.
of years of not doing them.
sucked.
Which, by the way, I'm like horrible at them now. I used to be able to do weighted pistol squats, like freestanding. But if you can't do, obviously a pistol squat is a single leg squat. You're supposed to go like ass to grass. It's a really advanced lower body movement. So if you're really beginner, you start with bodyweight squats. If you're a little more advanced, you could do split squats. You could do lunges. That's gonna get you eventually. And you have to work on mobility too. So little by little, you can start doing assisted pistol squats, maybe half reps instead of going all the way down. So there's always progressions that you can do to get to that goal.
And I think that's kind of like what we're trying to do with this segment of the podcast is just show everybody that it might not seem accessible, but it is. There's things that you can do, entry-level things that you can do to improve that. And who knows, you might have a stronger chest. So, hey, I can do dips, but my lats, my biceps are lacking. I can't do a chin-up. So you can do your dips. You don't have to like do the beginner of that, but work on these things that you need help with and then also do your dips. So you can kind of like meet in the middle.
And by the way, every skill or movement that you want to master, there are at least 30 YouTube tutorials for that one thing of like
nowadays
how to
there's-
progress to
Yeah.
a muscle up or how to progress to be able to do dips or whatever, or a handstand push-up, that you can go nuts out there and there's somebody coaching you through it. And
Our
then
little friend, Hybrid Calisthenics, is a great place to start. That guy's a sweetheart.
yeah, I guess.
Well- Be nice to him. He's a very nice kid. He does it all in jeans.
there's
Impressive.
there's also, of course, the benefit of like having a coach, because I learned, like many of us do, the hard way. For example, I learned how to do handstands a very hard way of just bumping my head against the wall.
Literally.
But when I've taught people handstands, you could bypass a lot of that
Start teaching
stupidity
them right away. The
right away.
fingertips,
Oh,
opening
things
up
that
the
you would
grip.
never think about,
Yeah.
like the way that your shoulder position is,
Yep.
the way that you have to vacuum your belly when you're up there, the way you have to shrug up. These are things that you never think about. What you think about, you listening right now,
Roll
is
into it. Yeah.
I just need to get up and throw my legs up against the wall and just
Yeah.
do that a million times. Like, no, because you can learn bad mechanics,
Yeah.
right? So
Look at me.
obviously,
I have a banana handstand.
Having a coach is important, but of course, now you're talking about spending money. You could do this the free way. It's just gonna take a little longer. What I was gonna say too is that you have to be patient. Like any form of training, if you have an ambitious goal of, let's say, doing a muscle up, which is a very hard exercise, be prepared that this might be a 2-year journey.
I had to
Like
break
you don't have to think about it like that, but it will be a 2-year journey. If you can't even do a pull up, I'm sorry, but it's just not gonna happen. But that's a good thing because the years are gonna happen anyway. So
might as well
just
be
get
getting good
started.
at something. Might as well be getting good at
Yeah,
something.
get started before you know it. Like you're now all of a sudden you're doing 10 pull-ups and you couldn't even do one.
Yeah, there's a classic story of a female client that I had that was she was a beginner, so she didn't have that much like upper body strength.
I want to see how you're gonna dance around.
I know,
this.
I'm dancing, I'm tangling. And she told me her very, very ambitious goal was to do a human flag. And I had to very gently bring it to her, like, hey, this is probably never gonna happen. Like, and it's true because, like, and I think that's something that's not just calisthenics based. It's like if you told me right now, like, oh, I want to bench 400. I'm like, bro, sorry.
Look at these little hands.
Look at your little hands. You've never had the what do you call it? The natural inclination to bench 400. This girl couldn't do a chin up, could barely hang from a bar, and you're telling me you want to do one of the hardest bodyweight movements. If you don't know what a human flag is, you hold yourself horizontally.
It looks
straight
If
out.
you've never seen it before, it looks Photoshopped. Like you have to see a video of somebody doing it. I remember that was one of the most impressive movements back in those days where you would see somebody doing it, you're like, holy shit, like really? You can hold yourself up sideways like that? That's crazy.
I used to be pretty good at it, and I still felt like it wasn't anything, but I had to break it to her. I was like, that's probably never gonna happen. And it's like, come into it with kind of realistic expectations. I don't want to break your heart and tell you you're never gonna do blank, but coño, tampoco no te pasa. Like I know I'm never gonna do an iron cross.
Yeah, I wanna piggyback off that by saying that something that isn't talked about enough in this industry is that you're built for certain things and not for others. So that same person in that example, on top of the fact that she was a beginner, on top of the fact that it's harder for women, there's only a few dozen women in the world that could do a human flag. She was also lanky.
She's a hard gainer
really,
too.
No, forget about that. She had long limbs. Like it's physics. The longer your limbs are, the less you're gonna be able to hold yourself sideways.
The arm, the harder it is,
there are some guys in calisthenics. I remember we would always laugh because they would always wear pants. There was a reason for that. It's because they had twig legs. So those guys, guess what? I can hold myself sideways all day and my legs don't weigh anything. Now, if you're a heavy set woman and you have a lot of, you carry your fat and your butt and legs, which is a good thing, by the way, right? But you're gonna struggle even more. If you're listening and you're built like this, it's probably hard for you to do pull-ups. It's probably hard for you to do anything where you're lifting your own body with your upper body. Let's just face it, like we're built for it, but it's probably easy for you to squat. You can probably squat heavy.
My whole life I've heard, but you can only do that many chin-ups because your legs don't weigh. I'm like, true, but what do you want to do?
You're built like the kind of guy that could do heavy pulls.
Heavy pulls
you are
and
that
swim. That's it. That's what my body was made for.
Pretty much, but look, you gotta own that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's like
that's
you
what
said.
That's fine. I own it.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Get heavier legs? Like, sorry.
What you can't do is beat yourself up your entire life because you're not built a certain way and you want to be able to do certain things. It's okay to have desires of wanting certain things, but you also have to know your limits. Like there's a fine line between not limiting yourself, but not being delusional either.
Yeah, I forgot where I heard the other day. Guys like, you guys could be anything you want to be. Tony's like, and there's like a little tiny, he's like 36-year-old man. It's like, I want to be a professional basketball player. Okay, I think it's a commercial.
Maybe not that.
Maybe, I think it's a Peyton Manning commercial. I want to be an NFL quarterback.
Why can't I play quarterback?
Not that dream. Like, dream a little smaller. Like, come on.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think that's just such an important lesson because it's true. And I think like the best place you can get to in your movement or training journey is when you're content with who you are and what you're capable of, and you're proud of yourself for how far you've come. Like you're stronger than you're stronger than you were 5 years ago, but maybe you're not going to be that person that, gathers 1 million followers on Instagram because they're doing just otherworldly things.
That's fine.
It's like you said, we were getting a bunch of followers on Instagram, but the level that we were at, there were guys that, dude, they would chew us up and spit us out with the amount of shit they were doing. Like there was calisthenics competitions where guys are doing what a planche is. It's holding your whole body weight with your hands and your legs are like horizontal. It's even harder than the flag. They were doing it with their fingertips. They're doing it with 3 fingers like this.
Or like jump from the bar and land on a planche. You're like, My
You're
brother
like,
in
okay.
Christ.
It's like, come on, dude.
But
Are you
also, that's a
kidding me?
0.001% of the population. 99% of the population would look at us and be like, damn, you guys can do some crazy stuff. And it was like, we were comparing ourselves to the elite. So I was like, somos unos culicarao.
And again, you're never going to be happy if you're comparing yourself to somebody better than you, unless you use that for inspiration, which
Yeah.
that's a different type of mindset. So the last thing I want to talk about is how calisthenics training isn't exclusive to, okay, I have to only do calisthenics.
Yeah.
So
Or like, I have to go outside and be in a park.
exactly. The perfect example is if you come to Be Fit to our gym, you're already doing calisthenics
What?
in many
You've
forms.
deceived me.
So
We're a
because
strength training gym.
like we said earlier, we take the best of each discipline, right? So we took a bunch of this calisthenics stuff and just threw it in where half the time you might not even know that you're doing a quote unquote calisthenics type of training. We need to get out of this idea of like everything categorized. Like I hate it when people, I'll do like, let's say I'll do like a mobility sequence and be like,
What's
oh, that's
this?
yoga. No,
Yeah.
they'll be like, that's yoga. I'm like, no, that's just movement. You can categorize it as yoga. You can categorize it as Pilates. It's just a movement that somebody took and put that in a method and said, this is yoga, this is calisthenics. So if you come to Be Fit, you're doing a whole lot of body weight training. You're doing anything from like animal flow type movements to crawls,
Inverted
to
rows.
pistol squats, inverted rows, hanging,
I would
dead
argue
hangs.
some of my favorite back exercises are all calisthenics.
Yeah.
All the variations of pull-ups, chin-ups, all that, inverted rows are all a body weight. So I'm going to throw those in as much as I can.
Exactly.
Even though people hate
and
them.
like you said, it's the bang for your buck is just ridiculous,
It's insane.
man.
It's
It's
insane.
ridiculous. So it would just be a disservice to our members if we didn't throw that type of training. And by the way, there's a lot of overlap between calisthenics and like gymnastic style training because
Isometric holds,
it's the
all
same
that
thing.
stuff.
They're not
Yeah.
using any equipment either. They're using
Yeah.
a bar.
Yeah,
So,
and they get nasty physiques.
yup,
See those
exactly.
bicep peaks?
Yup.
Mamma mia.
Which tells you a lot about that type of training and the
That's a part of
levels
calisthenics
you
that we
can-
haven't even talked about is the isometric holds, which is not really a thing in strength training. I mean, you don't really ever see somebody holding dumbbells.
Yup.
We do it here because we're kind of funky, but it's a huge part that's neglected, and it's a great muscle builder, which
and it's
it
a good way to
sucks.
begin.
And
So, few things I want to hear from the listeners. If you're still with us at this point, we appreciate you.
It doesn't mean
you
dead.
You have exceeded our average view.
if you're a woman, what do you
Ray.
have to say to them?
If you're a woman and still listening, did this interest you? Obviously it did because you went all the way to the end.
Or you have a crush on one of us.
If you're a guy, I don't care.
If you're a guy, maybe you have a crush on us.
If you're a guy, I'm sure this interested
If you're
you.
a guy and you like guys that have raccoonish features, you might have a crush on
We are
us.
that guys for you. All right, boy. Invite listeners to comment
What's that? Boy. What's your favorite body part? And I'll tell you
on
a lot
me
about you.
or on the opposite sex.
on you?
My own body part.
The music in the back is great.
My own favorite body part.
Your own favorite muscle group that you would be like,
Definitely back.
me too, 100%.
Yeah.
It sucks that I can never see it. All right, least favorite muscle group on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, whoa. To train?
No, that looks wise on yourself.
Ah,
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Arms.
Biceps. Yeah, arms overall. Comment below if you think we're wimpy.
I mean, somebody
though
said
people
do
are
you even lift?
People are gonna be like, arms? Look at your legs, you skinny piece of shit. I'm like, what?
Whatever, legs are covered.
I don't really care.
And I have decent calves,
I don't
so
really care. I just look at myself in the mirror and think I'm a wimp. But anyway, with that
Wimp
being
low.
said, guys,
thanks for
thanks for
tuning
tuning
in.
in to another episode of the Wimp Brothers
Podcast.
Hope you got a good day.